Hi guys, welcome to Reensplace. Today in our kitchen, it is the end of October, and we're going to start doing apple butter. We have 1/2 pint left from, I think, 2 years ago. I don't think we made it last year. Did we, Chuck?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, so 1/2 pint container left from 2 years ago. This is 1 bushel of apples. We got a half of Macoun, and the other half, I believe, are Jonathan. I don't really remember what we purchased last night, but they're both local to a local orchard by us, and these are the kind that we get every year, and we've never been disappointed with them. So I'm just washing them here in my sink full, and I'll just show you some of the prep areas that we have set up, and then I will finish washing the apples, and when they're done and we're about to process them, I'll bring you back. So let's just show you. So I have my large sink here full with 1 bushel of apples. And then over on my stove, I have this new juicer set up. We've never used it before. We're doing it for the first time. What you do is you put your apples. We have 4 apples in here. These are ones that were a little bit soft, or they had spots, or there was only 4 out of the whole bushel. So I chopped those up and stuck them in there to start. In the middle is where it collects all the juice. And then the bottom is full of 3 quarts of water, and it's got a spout so that when the juice comes out, you can get the juice into jars. So again, never done that before. This is the box I wanted to show you. I got mine from Macy's. I will try to link something close to it in the description box if it works good. Then over here I have my cutting station, just a large cutting board, knife, and a bowl. And then over here, to the right of my sink, I have the towel set up so I can drain the apples when they're done. And on this counter, we have the Kitchenaid set up. Chuck is going to work this, and it's got the apple, well, it's the, what is it? It's a core slicer peeler Kitchenaid attachment. I'll link that for you as well. And these big bowls that we got at Sam's Club, which we love, I think they're 13 quarts. These are perfect for apple season. So I'm just going to come over here, and I will finish washing my apples, and when we're about to start them, Chuck's going to get them after me, and I'll show you what we do. Okay, so I washed all the apples, and Chuck put a dent in them so far, so let me show you what we've got done so far. We have a little setup over here, and he's got scraps for the juice. Chuck, let me just go over to, there we go. And then those are the apples that are peeled and cored and sliced, and we'll throw them into our crock pots when we're done. So I'm going to, I'll put you here for a second and let you, I don't know if you can see anything, not really. Okay, I'll put you there for a second. I'm going to go grab a bowl. I think this bowl is bigger than what you have. Maybe
No,
not.
they're all the same size.
No, they're not. One's bigger. I think the one on the right is bigger. Okay. So I'll let him take this scrap off of here. Okay. We're going to take the scraps over. I have the pot put together. I just put the burner on, so it's starting to warm up. We'll add I don't know how this works, but we shall see. Okay, well that's full. And now we just wait for it to come to a boil, and it'll start reducing. And then, let's see where my husband's at over here. I just want to see. Are you about to put an apple on? Yeah. Okay, let me see. Get over here. That's it. Okay, so you can see that some of the apples are starting to get like brown from the air. That's fine because we're making apple butter and we're spicing it, and it's going to be dark when we're done with it. So I'm not even worried about that. Alright guys, I will bring you back when we have all the apples done, or if the juicer starts producing juice, whichever comes first. Okay guys, we're back. We've got almost a full bowl here, and this is a 13-quart bowl. So we're going to start getting some in the crock pot, and then we have to set up the second crock pot. So Chuck, if you'll carry that over here for me. What are you doing?
It's got seeds all stuck in it. Put that over the juicing part.
Okay. So I read the booklet that comes with the steam juicer, and it says like 60 to 90 minutes until it starts making juice probably. So that's going to be a minute. And these, you just, I don't really care. And all we're doing is we're going to put this in here. I'm going to throw maybe a cup of water in here, maybe a half a cup of water, and then we'll get it start cooking. And then later on, when, that was very floppy, did you hear it? Yeah. Later on when they start breaking down, then we're going to add some spice, and we're going to add maybe some sweetener. So, which reminds me, I gotta get that out of the freezer. Okay, so that's a 13-quart bowl. This is a 6.5-quart crock pot. And I'm crushing these more on top because the ones on the bottom are going to get more direct heat, so they're going to break down better. And while this, you know, when it starts cooking and breaking down, we can add more apples to it as well. But, oh! Cheap help, you know. Free help is more like it, huh?
Okay. Gotta work to get my apple butter.
That's right. Nothing comes for free in this house. Okay. So I feel like that's a good start. And I'm going to stick you down here for a minute. Let me grab some water real quick. Let's see. Okay, I'm only adding half a cup of water. When this starts going, it's going to release so much of its own juice that it'll be fine. And then let's get the top on this. Oh, yeah, plugging it in, that works good too, doesn't it, Chuck? Okay, I'm going to put it on, high until it starts going. If I put it on high, yeah, I'll just leave it on 4 hours for now, but we'll come back to that probably in an hour or so. And then, let's just see what kind of progress we got. We have a half a bowl of apples that we are going to set up the other crock pot on the other counter and get that going. This is how much apples are left. I'm going to say that's probably, what, a half a bushel left? You've probably done half of them already?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's right. We're probably going to have about 4 crock pots full of apples when we're done. And let's take a look-see at this juicer real quick. Oh, you're probably not supposed to open the lid, but I wanted to. Yeah, you can see that those apples have already gone down quite a bit. They were all the way up to the top. Alright guys, we will drop by and bring you back for different parts of the process, and you can see what we're doing. Okay, I actually started taking the juice out of here before I realized I wasn't filming, so. I'm using this pot to catch it in. Is it on? Yeah. And then all you do is just pull this little, whoop, that's hot. Pull that little valve and let it drain into the pot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out, when I get, there's the juice is about this high in here. It'll only go down to the spigot. So there'll still be juice left in there. When I get all out what I can now, I'll turn the spigot off. I'm going to get the spent pieces of apple out of there, and I'm going to put more apple scraps in, fresh apple scraps. Okay, so now it's kind of like piddling out here. Oh, it's still going. I'll show you when we catch all that we can. I'm going to show you the inner pieces because I want to check to make sure there's still water in there. We'll probably add a little bit. We'll check and see how much juice is left in here. And then we're going to take out the old scraps and put in the new ones. And I think that's all we're getting now because it's starting to drip. So I'm turning it off. I'm going to say that's probably a little less than a quart.
About a quart.
Yeah, so let's move this over to the side. And now I'm going to, now this is probably going to fog you up, but let me see. Okay. Take this out of here. These are not very hot, but Chuck, grab that come over here. Yep. He's gonna walk me to the sink.
Okay. Okay, leave that scraps there.
And then hold that over there for a moment. Good job, Pennylopes. And I'm just going to empty what's left in there. And if you'll hold that for me for one more minute, Chuck, I'm going to grab some more water. Oops. Let's see how much water we're going to put in here. Yeah, that's not bad. That was about a quart. So it lost, I mean, it's been on for what, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah.
And it was only a quart down out of the 3 that we initially stuck in it. Just make sure that this is in the right, yeah, there's like a little indentation on that bottom pot that you have to make sure your spigot is lined up properly with. You can take the apples and stick them over there by the coffee maker. And now we're just going to refill this with our scraps. Okay. Easy, killer. And this would work, you get a lot more juice and probably a lot stronger flavored if you were to use all of the actual like full apples, but we're just trying to use scraps just so nothing goes to waste when we do this. So we're just going to put the top back on here. And we're going to let it go. What I'm doing on my other counter, let me just show you real quick. Let me rinse my hands real quick and then I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so we have one crock pot here. That's the juice that we just got out of the juicer. These are 2 crock pots that we bought years ago at Ollie's. They were like $19 a piece, and we bought them for the express use of just using them for when we make apple butter and stuff like that. I'm trying to clean as I go. This is I don't even know how many quarts this bowl is. Not much. I'm going to say it's like a 4-quart bowl, and that's the spent stuff from, I would say, a half a bushel of apples, so that's not bad at all. We washed the pieces for the Kitchenaid. I have one crock pot here. This is a 6.5 quart. My other one's a 6.5 quart. And then these are the apples that we have to get into some crock pots. So I'm going to rinse those crock pots out, and I will come back and we'll fill them up. Okay, so I'm just washing out. I washed that pot. Chuck's going to start filling it. I'm washing this inner pot here. And then we will be all set up. Chuck, does it look like we'll get all of that stuff in 2 pots?
I don't know.
We're hoping that it all fits in these 2 crock pots. If not, we will try to put some in the ones that have been cooking for a minute.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. Let's see what we got done. They'll all get in there.
Well, maybe.
Eventually they'll all get in.
It might fit.
Okay, let's see. Hopefully we get them all in. Okay.
It'll fit.
Okay, wait, I'm not done yet. Agatha? Okay, so we're still recording.
Yep.
And I want to put a half a cup of water in each of these. Okay, so we're putting a half a cup of water. About a half in each of these. That just helps them to start breaking down properly. And then I have the 2 lids. And I can't see. I'm going to put them on high just to get them started. And that's it. Now let me turn you around and show you. So this one's been going for, what would you say, a half an hour or so?
At least.
It's very soft with your finger, and I can see the steam is starting to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my kitchen. I'm going to make dinner, and when I come back, it'll be this evening after dinner, and we'll give these a stir, and we'll add some spice and something to sweeten them up a little bit, and that's what we'll be doing for the evening. And then they'll probably be done for the evening, and we'll pick back up tomorrow morning. Okay, so we just opened this up, and I'm giving it a stir. It's been on high for 2 hours now, and as you can see, it's really, I mean, it's just getting broken up just with my spoon. So we're going to leave that again. I'm going to turn this from high to low and put it on 8 hours, but I'll probably come back in about 2 hours or so, and we'll season. We'll start doing seasonings and sweetening. Let me come over here to my other crock pot. And this one's been on for 2.5 hours. And doesn't this smell good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so while we were not on camera, which we should have done on camera, but we're horrible, is we had to add some water to the juicer. And we checked, and there's juice inside. But we also tasted the juice. Come on over here. We tasted this juice. Oh my God, it's amazing. We were tasting because as I was reading the book that came with the steam canner, it said that certain fruits, sometimes apples and pears, you have to add a little bit of sugar to make it sweet enough to make it palatable. But we tried it. I said, well, maybe we'll put some brown sugar in there. That would taste really nice with apples. But we tasted it. It is sweet. It's delicious. It's so good, in fact, that Chuck and I were just talking off camera, and we think we're going to go back to the orchard. Maybe he might stop on his way home tomorrow and grab some more apples, and we might just do the whole half bushel of just juice. and can up the juice for it because that's how good it is. It's definitely time consuming. I'm going to say we're doing an hour and a half, maybe to 2 hours per what would you call that, like steamer load of fruit or peelings or whatever. So, and if you go back by the sink, Chuck, I'm just bagging up. This is just a Walmart bag that's doubled up, and this is the scraps after we took them out of the canner. So, I mean, look at that's a half a bushel of scraps. That's hardly, anything compared to what you throw out. And I was telling my husband, like, out of all of those a bushel's worth of apples, we had 4 apples that I had to like take things out of the like, what am I trying to, like, cut spots out of 4 apples only. And those were still fine. I just took, some of the bad, there was like not even a bad spot, but it was like a puncture in them. And I'm not stirring those yet. No? It's not time now. But out of one whole bushel, I only had 4 apples I had to get a little imperfection out of. And how many were actually, 2 were actually thrown away. And those were only thrown away because one of them was smushy in the car when we brought it home. Like, I think we had an apple spillage. And the other one, it had a hole in the bottom. And I was afraid to cut it open and fear that it might be like a bug in there. I didn't want to find out, so I threw it out to the deer. But that's it for now. I am going to come back in about 2 hours. I'll get my seasonings out, and we'll get the our sweetener out, and we'll get going on this. Okay, so I don't even know how long it's been since the last time, but these scraps have finished going, and I'm going to add them to the other pot. I just wanted to show you what we got going on here. This is so much easier to just do it like this. Wow, that's a lot, right? That's
2.5, 3/4.
No, this is a this is like a 6-quart stock pot, so I'm thinking that's probably 3 or 4 quarts at least. I would say 4 quarts. So we're gonna let this cool down a little bit. I don't know if we're gonna can any of this, to be honest with you. Will you drink all of this?
Try.
Okay, so maybe we'll put half of it in the fridge and I'll can the rest of it. I'm probably, I don't know, I have a new, what do I have, Chuck?
Water bath canner.
An electric water bath canner, the ball one. That will make canning for me a lot easier since I broke my leg and never really healed properly. So I'm going to be able to set it up by my sink, and then I don't have to carry the pots from here to the other side. So we'll either do that tonight and maybe can some of this up. I'll have to bring it up to a boil again and do that. But in the meantime, it's almost 6 o'clock here. We ate dinner already. We're going to start cleaning this up. And I think the best thing about today was, well, you can't tell now because it kind of looks like a monsoon hit. But we've been cleaning as we go. So this is from dinner. This is for the apple scraps that I'm going to move them over. This is apple scraps. This is just a bag to wrap this up when we're done. All of our big bowls are clean and washed. Everything's been wiped down. The Kitchenaid's been wiped down. We're all set pretty much. So what I'm going to continue to do is to get the rest of this stuff cleaned up here. And then we'll come back probably in an hour or so, and we'll start seasoning and sweetening the apples that are in the crock pots. So, getting excited. Hi guys, we're back. It's a couple hours later, and we're just going to add our spices and sweetener. And for spices, I just use ground cinnamon and apple pie spice, but I use a lot of it. I don't measure it, I just put it in there. It's going to continue to cook overnight. Tomorrow, I will bring the video back up and we will continue on. I also like to use this 100% apple juice concentrate, the kind you buy frozen in the supermarket. And then I just let it defrost. Okay, Chuck, help me get this little. You do that. Do I need my thing?
Trying to do without splashing it.
Okay. And I guess it's got a little ice in there maybe, but that's fine. And I'm just going to put, for starters, a half of container in each of my crock pots. And I'll just bring you along and you can see what I'm doing. Over here. these guys first. I need a spoon, please.
Wooden or...
Whichever, it doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm just giving this a stir. It's really cooking down. And that's what you want. You want it to cook down. And we're just going to... I'm going to put a half a can in. And I just feel like... You can add, you know, regular white sugar. You can add brown sugar. But we like it just sweetened by juice. And then I'm going to... This is my apple pie spice. And again, at each step, like later on, I will check it, and if I feel like it needs more spice, I'll add more spice. That was just apple pie. And I'm going to put a video out probably, I don't know, probably tomorrow. I have more cinnamon downstairs. I'll probably have to grab that. But I'm going to put another video out, and I'm going to make my own homemade apple pie spice, pumpkin pie spice, and also a gingerbread spice. Because with the holidays and the holiday baking coming, I feel like that's something we're really going to be using. Now you can see that really darkened these up. Just the spices. And it's going to get even darker than this when these apples cook down the rest of the way. And you just... Oh, it's getting there, but... There we go. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to make some more spice blends. Oh, I see a little apple seed in there. Okay, so that one, I'm going to call that done for right now. We're going to let this go. And I'm going to cook this all night on low. And it's really going to cook down, and it's going to be delicious. And we'll just do that with the rest. Now, these ones haven't been on as long, but I have other stuff to do tonight, so I can't be just fooling around here. Let's see. Put these over here, excuse me. Yeah, these pots were put on maybe an hour after the other ones, so they're a little behind, but look at, that's really cooking down nicely. And this was the last pot on. I just want to make sure everybody's on low at this point. Nope, these are on high still, but I'm going to turn them to low now. And you don't have to make as much as we do, but my husband really likes apple butter, and he eats this as a snack quite often with Ritz crackers. But also, we usually don't make it every year. We try to get by with doing it every other year. Okay, so again, half. And honestly, I don't think that this is going to be enough juice. This is all the juices that I have frozen. So probably Chuck will stop on his way home from work tomorrow at the supermarket and grab me a couple more juices, and we'll sweeten these up a little bit more. We'll just see how that goes, though. And now we're going to apple, oops, that was a little wild. Apple spice, apple pie spice. A little cinnamon. And again, as you go, just keep tasting it as it cooks down. You think it needs a little more? Put a little more. And you've seen how light these apples were, so that's why this doesn't look as dark as the first pot, because it's not cooked down as much. Alright, Chuck, if you'll cover that one up for me, I'll get this stirred. Okay. Okay, so we're going to move around here. This is the last one. Stir it up. Half a can of the juice. My favorite juice to use in these is white grape frozen concentrate, and this year we cannot find it anywhere. So if you can find that in your store, that's even more delicious. But let's see, apple pie spice. Cinnamon. And again, we're going to just make sure all the pots are on low. Chuck, would you check for me, please? Okay. So that's all we're going to do for tonight. I'm not going to be on here again until tomorrow when I get up. So I will see you tomorrow, and we'll pick up right from here on the same video. Okay, guys, it's the next day. It's the next evening as we just ate dinner. And so what I did was I had 4 crock pots. When they started cooking down, I put each of the square crock pots into one of these. So each one of these represents 2 crock pots full of apple butter. And I've been cooking them on low with the top off for the last maybe 2 hours. And all that's left now, I mean, you can kind of see how thick that is. I don't know if this one's, yeah, pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to unplug one of these to plug my immersion blender in, which I'm going to do now. So I just unplugged this one. And I have a darn fruit fly in here, don't you know? Making me feel hysterical. Okay. So if you've not used an immersion blender before, make sure it's all the way down in whatever you're using it on. And this is what really makes a difference between it being like cooked applesauce and smooth like apple butter. I got a little on me, I'm not going to lie. Okay, but let's see. Do you see the consistency there? And then what it looks like here? I might do it a little bit more, but I'm going to go ahead and do this pot. And then I will come back when we're about to can it. But right now I'm just going to get them smoothed out. I'll leave them on low with the tops off. And I'll get my canning supplies together. Okay guys, we're back. We pureed this with the immersion blender. I got the right one cooking off still just a little bit more while I do this one. I have all my jars cleaned and hot. Some are sitting back in the sink waiting to be used. I have my little setup here. These are just hot water. I didn't boil them or anything. They're just sitting in hot water. I have my vinegar and my paper to wipe off the rims. And I'm going to be using my electric ball water bath canner. I'm going to get more in on this machine tomorrow. I'm going to be doing apple juice in my steam canner, my steam juicer, and I'll be using this to can it up. So I'll go more into depth with both of those items. But for right now, it's a weeknight and I still have work to do. So I'm just going to trek along and get these in. Okay, so I got my jars. And I don't remember what the headspace on this. I believe it's like 1/2 to 1/4 inch. Chuck, do you remember?
No, give me a second, I'll look it up.
He's going to look it up for me. I'm pretty sure. I'm definitely going to need a debubbler. I don't know where it is. I literally just had my debubbler out and I don't know where I put it, so
1/4 inch.
I'll be very careful. 1/4 inch headspace.
That's on 1/2 pints and pints.
Chuck, look for that little blue wand. It's a debubbler spacer. I'm not comfortable using a... It might be on that box on the table. I mean, you can see how super thick that is. That it's like pulled away from the sides on the jar. Perfect.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay, I'll have to use the knife because I can't find my... It might be in here by the dish drain. It's okay. I have a butter knife. I'll just be super careful. If you can't find it.
I don't see it.
No, it would be like in the drain because I just had it out last night.
Did you?
Yeah. I thought I had it on that towel that the apple juice is on. Okay.
No, I see that.
Good enough. We're good. I'm moseying along here. I've got these 2 things to do before I go to bed, and as I said, I still have work to do tonight, so if you'd like to add to that work, stop by Reensplace.etsy.com and see all my new items that I'm putting up for the holidays. Bowl covers for your KitchenAid mixer. I make mason jar bonnets. Chuck, give me that little red thing over there. Like this. I make table runners, gnomes, all kinds of things. So if you get bored later, stop on over. Okay. These are going into my canner that I have heating up. It's just on the warm setting. Chuck, you want to hold this for me? There we go. I'll get Chuck to be my cameraman. As I make these, I'm just going to throw them in here. And it says, this is my only second time out with this canner. And it says that you can fit 12 jars in here, 12 half pints. So we're gonna see. I'm going to continue on with these jars, getting them filled, and I'll come back when everybody's in the canner. Okay, so all 12 half pints are in here, and then this is a they said it's like a diffuser. I'm supposed to get it more constantly hot. We'll explain about it tomorrow, but it also holds the jars from jiggling around, and it also prevents from it boiling over. Then put the top on, and then you have it on the warm setting here. You just switch it to canning, and then you're going to check and see when it starts boiling. When it starts boiling, then you set your timer for however long it takes to process whatever your hot water bath canning. For half pints of apple butter, it's 10 minutes. So I'm going to wait till it comes to a boil, and then I'll set my timer. And I'll bring you back when they come out of the canner. Okay guys, we're boiling. It's been 10 minutes. I'm going to turn the canner down to the keep warm part of it. I'm taking the top off. Oh, I forgot to get my big fork to get that thing off the top. I don't know if it's in here.
It's in a drawer.
In the drawer?
Yeah.
In this drawer?
I thought so.
Alright. Then I have to, there's a handle here somewhere.
Right there.
Uh-huh. Okay. And I'm going to, I got the canner still on. I really would like to let them sit without pulling them out right away, but I'm going to take them out anyhow. Okay, so this is the first dozen, and I have, and Chuck can show you in the sink, I have another dozen jars that are ready to go. But I'll do those on my own. You don't need to see all that. Apple butter. Okay, so again, this is not, I mean, it took 2 days to make it, but you're not babysitting it the whole time. You're basically, you know, once you peel the apples and slice them and core them, you put them in the crock pots, and you basically just season them, let them go on the crock pot. I did mine for at least 24 hours. At nighttime, I work like late at night, so like I don't go to bed till probably when most of you are guys getting up in the morning. But I just turned my crock pots on to keep warm, and then when I woke up, I put them back on low. When they got back up to where they were boiling, I took the cover off, stirred them around a little bit, and let them reduce down to make them thicker. And that's all she wrote. Okay. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video on how to make apple butter. I will be putting up another video very shortly on how we're going to use the steam canner and again the ball hot water bath electric to do the apple juice. So if you haven't done so, please hit that red subscribe button and like and share this video if you like more like it. Thanks for watching.